as the nation celebrates Independence Day, we introduce you to a soldier who fought for the flag on a battlefield as a young man almost 60 years ago. The Vietnam War left many who returned home scarred in some way, some wounds more visible than others. News 8's Brian Sterling introduces us to one soldier still carrying the reminders of a war some would like to forget.
And it will tear you to pieces.
John Kooistra still carries shrapnel, not metaphorical, but the real metal kind.
The Viet Cong would usually lob a few mortars rounds at the base camp.
Shards once heated by explosions that rocked his camp in the central highlands of Vietnam.
You never knew, which direction the mortar came from, but you never knew how far back, how many miles he was away from the camp.
John Kooistra was 21 in 1966 when he found himself shipped halfway around the globe.
I was drafted, but we were sent over there and we did our job.
The corporal was attached to the 551st Light Maintenance Company, soldiers tasked with stitching up tanks and trucks. As the company clerk, John Kooistra filed the war, memo by memo, from a sweating base carved out of the tropical forests in the middle of a country far from home.
A backward country, and it was jungle. They were bulldozing an area for us to live. And we lived in 10-man tents. As I remember, we didn't talk politics too much. We were here to do a job, and that's what we did.
And while John was able to avoid direct conflict, he still carries scars from that war. There was another enemy hiding in the trees, hanging in the air. The poison known as Agent Orange.
But we didn't know about Agent Orange until we got back here, and it's been, I would say, 10, 15 years that you really read.
Agent Orange was the toxin sprayed across the jungle to peel back the veil of vegetation. John didn't know he was breathing it. No one did.
We knew it affected it was a defoliant, that they would spray it. You find out afterwards that some spots they sprayed more than at other spots we were in.
Decades later, it was why, as John explains, the war returned quietly.
I was about 65 years old when I noticed different things, and then you put two and two together, so that I went to the doctor here. And the first visit I had with him, he told me that I had a cousin of Parkinson's.
Parkinson's disease, said the doctors. Not a bullet, but just as lethal. Agent Orange was the culprit.
But now it steadily gets worse and worse. I don't blame anyone here, but the government is taking a responsibility, even now.
When John Kooistra finished his tour of Vietnam, he came back home to West Michigan. He got a job, settled down, and married his high school sweetheart. The same girl who waved him off to war, she remains beside him decades later. His partner, and now caregiver. Nearing 80, John says he wants people to know what was sacrificed. Not to glorify, but to remember.
And you see all the names on the memorial, 50,000. It never came back. For what? In the end, we lost it all or gave it away.
John Kooistra's hands still hold the fragments of war, a reminder of a conflict fought without clarity, without clean edges. Proof that sometimes the deepest wounds are the ones you carry home. In Kentwood, Brian Sterling, News 8.